Renewables, such as wind and solar, are increasingly replacing coal and fossil fuels in electricity generation, and copper will be the staple material for electric vehicles and many of the world's electricity-generating devices under the energy transition revolution. This is due to the fact that copper is a highly efficient conductor of electricity and heat, and therefore it is used in renewable energy systems of solar, hydro, thermal and wind energy. So copper helps reduce carbon dioxide emissions, reduces the amount of energy needed to produce electricity, and copper is the best conductor of heat and electricity than non-precious metals. To give an idea of how much it is used in industries, it is enough to know that solar energy systems contain approximately 5.5 tons of copper per 1 megawatt, while electricity storage facilities rely on between 3 and 4 tons of copper per megawatt. A single wind farm can hold between 4 and 15 million pounds of copper. On the global production front, Goldman Sachs predicts that by 2030 demand for copper will grow by about 600% to 5.4 million tons in North America. The electric vehicle market will be worth $2.7 billion by 2021 and $18.6 billion by 2030, and by 2040, passenger electric vehicles alone will consume more than 3.7 million tons of copper per year. A few years ago, the world began to completely transform its fleets and switch to electric vehicles, EVs, in a global effort to reduce carbon emissions. Copper is the most important component in generating electrical energy for these vehicles. For example, the battery of an electric car contains 83 kilograms of copper, compared to 23 kilograms of copper in an internal combustion engine car. In addition, batteries and chargers require a lot of copper. Renewables, such as wind and solar energy, also require tons of copper, and this use looks set to grow exponentially thanks to some new discoveries, as well as the acceleration of the adoption of renewable energies. Several years ago, an Australian named Vince Allen, a PhD student at the University of New South Wales, made a move that could radically change the solar industry, using materials that promise to increase efficiency and lower the cost of solar panels. The researchers' idea was to make solar panels much cheaper by replacing silver, which is expensive, which is commonly used to connect electricity from devices, to copper metal. What distinguishes copper is that it is abundant, and is usually about 100 times cheaper than silver. After the success of that research, Allen founded a company called SunDrive Solar in 2015, which produced a model of the most efficient solar cells ever, according to a leading independent testing laboratory, and the company continues its project to produce large-scale panels using the technology after receiving funding from several private financial bodies. And the company received more than $2 million through a grant from the Australian Renewable Energy Agency. Solar panels are formed by 95% of photovoltaics made of silicon foils, and to draw electric current from the cells, we usually need to melt them with metal contacts, and silver has always been the metal of choice for ease of handling, as well as for the stability of silver metal, as solar panel manufacturers rely on a printing process similar to that used to draw designs on shirts, so they push a thick silver paste through the silicon cells. Solar panel makers are estimated to consume up to 20% of the silver produced in the world each year, and imagine when silver prices rise, this will lead to the cost of panels, especially since the value of the metal alone can reach 15% of the price of a solar cell. We may ask, why hasn't the idea of replacing copper with silver been thought of before? Quite simply, the problem that prevents solar panel manufacturers from replacing copper with silver is that the latter does not adhere well to solar cells, and it oxidizes more easily, which affects its ability to conduct current, and this is the subject of SunDrive research to remove technical barriers to using copper instead of silver. After the transition to green energy by countries all over the world, green hydrogen has taken an advanced place as a source of clean and carbon-free energy, but the great challenge for the widespread adoption of this energy is due to the way hydrogen itself is stored. Hydrogen is known to be fast reactive and low in density, and these properties must be countered to store it inexpensively and effectively. Recent research has indicated that copper, gold, and silver are promising candidates for storing hydrogen in the form of hydrides, and intensive research is underway to provide the best methods of storage, of which copper will undoubtedly take an important place. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, USGS, global copper reserves in 2019 are estimated at 830 million tons, with an annual demand of 28 million tons, in addition to which uncertain reserves amounted to more than 5 billion tons. High copper prices, growing demand, and largely stagnant production have attracted investors' attention to copper projects, even those that seemed too complicated to complete in the recent past. Among the mega and complex projects is the development of the Otakhin deposits located in Russia's Far East, where low temperatures are combined with very long distances that require giant investments in infrastructure, but estimated reserves are more than 26 million tons, making it the largest untapped copper deposits in Russia and the third largest in the world. Another example is the development of the Tangfungura mine in the Democratic Republic of Congo, in which a consortium called China's Molybdenum has announced plans to invest $2.51 billion to double copper and cobalt production. The project involves building 3 ore production lines that will increase the average annual copper production at the mine by 200,000 tons. There are many other projects underway as well. Increased investments in copper mining are likely to emerge in response to higher prices as demand grows. According to the International Energy Agency, copper will remain the most widely used metal in renewable energy technologies, while between 224 copper mines discovered between 1990 and 2019, only 16 have been discovered in the past 10 years. Meaning that the discovery and development of new mines must be a critical priority to meet the growing demand for the green energy transition. This is evident from the large investments announced by the world's 2 largest economies, as China will continue to grow amid a pledge to shift to greener practices, and U.S. President Joe Biden's infrastructure plans to reduce emissions put batteries at the forefront of his development program. Finally, it is no secret that copper plays a key role as a necessary driver for delivering electricity inside batteries that will reduce emissions in electric vehicles, transportation, and elsewhere globally, and the supply of the metal will keep pace with growth. The use of copper in industries has become an important indicator of development. If you like Today Now channel videos, please like, subscribe, share, leave us your opinion on the comments from your point of view, and turn on notifications. Stay tuned for more interesting subjects. Thank you for watching and listening.